The Hercules Text by Jack McDevitt, published November 1986. The Ace Science Fiction Specials Series 3 consists of 12 books. The first books had the livery that you see here for Neuromancer. The last 6 books had this new livery that we see here with the Hercules Text. The content of the livery is very similar, but the last 6 covers are more colorful, including the spines. The first 6 spines are black. The last 6 spines are a variety of colors. As we have with the first 6, we'll start with Terry Carr's introduction. Now, with the Hercules Text by Jack McDevitt, we continue the new Ace SF Specials series. And you can expect to see further specials every few months in the future. The basis for the book selection remain the same. Each is a first novel that impressed me as outstanding, and often, probably because they are first novels, they bring to the SF genre new ideas and new approaches in writing them. This doesn't mean these books are experimental science fiction. As a reader of SF for nearly 40 years, I welcome literary experimentation, but I'm aware that most experiments in writing or any other endeavor prove to be failures. When experiments succeed, they're hailed as innovations. It's the latter for which I look in choosing these books. The Hercules Text certainly isn't experimental in its basic plot, which involves a project to search for messages from alien intelligences in the far reaches of space, and the detection of such messages from a very strange world in the Hercules constellation. In its basics, this novel is similar to many that have gone before, including, most recently, Carl Sagan's bestseller Contact, though McDevitt wrote this book before Contact was published. But McDevitt adds quite a lot to what has gone before. He's an excellent fiction writer. One of his first short stories, Cryptic, was nominated for the Nebula Award a couple of years ago, who brings to his books a smooth, matter-of-fact style and the depth of characterization essential to a first-rate novel. In addition, though he's done his homework and gives us fascinating details about how scientists work and interact, his novel is concerned not merely with science, but rather with the moral implications of the scientific discoveries he describes. Call this book a thoughtful extrapolation of our future and its meaning for humanity, if you must label it. But in truth, the story McDevitt tells here transcends such categorizations. Yes, this is a serious novel, and yes, it has excellent characterizations and a strong theme, but at heart, the Hercules Text is a novel written to be enjoyed. I'm convinced that you'll enjoy it very much, and I'm delighted to present it to you. It's interesting to see how similar novels sometimes come out at the same time. Contact by Carl Sagan is very similar to the Hercules Text. In Contact, a machine is built and there is a travel of some sort. In Hercules Text, we remain more grounded. We start off with a bit of a wobbly marriage. There is trouble in this household. And then halfway through the first chapter, we find out there's a message from space. This novel is similar to bestsellers of the time that follow a number of different characters. It tries to paint a picture of what would happen if there was first contact, and only United States was receiving the Hercules Text. In a meeting in the White House, we have this passage. "What is your concern?" asked U.S. President Hurley. USSR Ambassador Timonov's head wobbled up and down. "Do you play chess, Mr. President?" "Moderately." "That fact does not appear in your campaign biography. It would not have won any votes." "I will never understand the United States," Timonov said. "A land that extols mediocrity and produces engineers of exceptional quality." "Your concern?" asked the president. "Ah, yes, the point. The point, Mr. President, as any good chess player or statesman knows, is that the threat is of considerable more use than the execution. It does not matter whether, eventually, you find something of military or diplomatic value in the Hercules Text. It matters only that we fear you might. And the question for you to ponder, sir, is whether that fear is sufficiently deep to provoke actions that neither of us wishes to see. There are religious and political implications with this hoarding of the message. These play out slowly in the first third of the novel, and then it picks up because we get concerned with the message itself. The method of communication and the message itself are fascinating. It's coming from so far away that it would have been millions of years in our past. Using math, we can decipher the message. Part of the message is deeply poetical, philosophical even. This is a head-scratcher for the scientists. And then other parts of the message share scientific discoveries. McDevitt does a good job in giving an uneasy, eerie feeling to the poetry that people are finding in the message. There's a sense of foreboding. Here's an example of some of that poetry. I speak with the generations of those whose bones are in the barrow. We are restless, they and I. Having passed through the force that drives the world flower, I know the pulse of the galaxies. I have touched the living chain, have known the storm within the proton. I speak with the dead. Almost, I know the designer. I am alone. I make life handle the atom and speak with the dead. And God knows me not. And then there's the science. Is this science like giving a weapon to a young child? I really enjoyed this middle third of the novel. And then we get to a conclusion. And for me, it was a bit of a letdown. The Hercules Text is the start of an amazing career. Jack McDevitt was born April 14th, 1935. He is now 89 years old. His novels frequently deal with attempts to make contact with alien races and with archaeology or xenoarchaeology. Most of his books follow either superluminal pilot Priscilla Hutchins or galactic relic hunters Alex Benedict and Chase Colpath. McDevitt has received numerous nominations for Hugo, Nebula, and John W. Campbell Awards. Seeker won the 2006 Nebula Award for Best Novel. In his bibliography, we can see his novels, the Academy series with Priscilla Hutchins, and the Alex Benedict series, Ancient Shores, and Collections. A new revised version of the Hercules Text appeared in May of 2015. So I thought there was moderately good characterization here, a really interesting middle third of the novel, and overall, a pleasing, competent first novel. I look forward to reading more Jack McDevitt in the future. I give the Hercules Text 7 out of 10. Have you read Hercules Text? How about other novels by Jack McDevitt? Love to know your thoughts. Please comment below. Until next time, keep reading.